Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Emily, and my husband and I were almost on LEGO Masters Season 2 until we got ghosted. So here's what happened. So it all started in December of 2020 when one of the LEGO Masters producers actually reached out to me over my YouTube email and said, hey, please consider auditioning to LEGO Masters Season 2. Here's my contact information. Like, please give me a call at some point. And what? Like, I could not contain myself. Like, that was the most exciting thing to happen, like, all December, like, all year, honestly. Like, that was so cool because I love LEGO Masters. Like, it was such a fun show to watch, and it was just so cool that they found our channel and reached out to us, you know? So, like, that was really exciting. But also part of me was like, is this a scam? Like, who is this person? Are they reaching out to everybody? Like, what's going on here? Because it was kind of weird. I had just started or created, like, my Gmail account for my YouTube 2 days prior to that. So I was like, this is my first ever email on this, email account. Kind of sketchy, like I think I'm being scammed. But I checked out her name, I checked out the company, and I was like, okay, this person has a LinkedIn with that company. There's other people that work at that company. Okay, like story checks out. I checked like the area code on her phone number and it worked with like where the company was located. So I was like, okay, I think this is legit. I think this is real. I'm not being scammed, probably. We'll see. And so after all of that kind of paranoia of being scammed subsided, I was just beside myself. Like, this was the coolest thing ever. Producers reached out to me, like I'm just this tiny little YouTube channel. We had maybe like 800 new subscribers since we rebooted the channel in like July, I think it was. We only had like 800 subscribers. It like was not a lot. We had a very small following, but they reached out to us. I was like, wow, like, are we a big deal? Like, this is cool. My husband was working from home, but he was in the other room on a business call. And so I couldn't even go tell him, so I was just like in here on my own, just being really excited about this. And so I kind of thought about like how to tell him. So after he got off his call, I went over there. I was like, hey, Ross, I'm just curious out of the blue. If LEGO Masters reached out to us and asked us to audition, what would you say? And he was just kind of like, what? That wouldn't happen. That's weird. I don't know. And I was like, well, so the thing is, LEGO Masters reached out to us and asked us to audition. Do you want to audition with me? Because this is really cool. I want to audition. Are we going to do this? Like, let's do it. And he was like, I mean, yeah, that's like a dream come true. Let's do it. So, we of course came over into the room because he was kind of skeptical too. He was like, is this a scam? Like, what's happening? And so I showed him, look, she has a LinkedIn, its story checks out, right? This is a real person. So he was like, okay, like, let's give it a try. So we draft this really nice email to her, just basically saying like, hey, thanks so much for reaching out. We appreciate the opportunity. We loved LEGO Masters Season 1. Yes, we are definitely interested in auditioning. What's the next step? And so we sent that email off, and I'm not even kidding. Within like 5 to 10 minutes, she responds to us, which I was not expecting. I don't know, I'm not used to like getting emails back that fast, but that was cool. And she asked us if we'd have time for a call with her the next day, which of course the answer was yes. Like, obviously we have time for a call with this producer from LEGO Masters. And so, the next day comes and Ross and I are on the phone with her, and she was just like really nice, like a total people person. And she asked us some pretty basic questions about ourselves, like how did we meet? How did we get into LEGO? Who got into LEGO first? What kind of sets do we like to build? Just like really basic stuff like that. And by the end of the call, she was like very on board. Like, she loved us. She was like, I need you guys to meet my supervisor. Like, he's the bigger producer at this company. Like, you need to talk to him. And we were just beside ourselves. We were like, what? Okay, like, cool. You guys liked us. That's good. Good. Moving on to the next step. And so we scheduled a call with her supervisor, aka another LEGO Masters producer, which was just crazy. And I didn't know this going into it, but it was a casting interview, which I guess makes sense. We're being casted for LEGO Masters. But it was totally different than like a normal Zoom call or normal interview, because first of all, it was all recorded because he wanted to take clips of us to use for like reality TV type stuff. But second of all, we had to repeat the questions back to him. So he would ask something like, what's your favorite LEGO theme? And instead of saying Disney, you would have to say, my favorite LEGO theme of all time is Disney. I specifically love these sets because the minifigures look great, or, whatever, you like answer the question. But they had us answer the questions that way because they would take clips of us and like use it for a marketing thing. Like, they would show Brad Pitt and Will Arnett, or, whoever. But I like to think it was Brad Pitt and Will Arnett because, that would be cool. They show them the clips of us and say, hey, what do you think of these people, their personality, you know, that kind of thing. And they would just kind of edit together clips of me and my husband answering their questions, kind of talking with each other to get just team vibes, I guess. And long story short, this guy also loved us. He said, yes, you guys are exactly what we're looking for. Brad Pitt and Will Arnett are gonna love you guys. You're totally gonna be on the show. It's gonna be awesome. Looking back, this was a third-party casting company, and I'm pretty sure that they get some sort of commission if they do get someone on the show. So of course they're like, yes, so you're moving on to the next round. They're gonna love you guys. Like, please keep auditioning, keep putting time and effort into this. And we're like, okay, cool. Because they just wanted that commission money from getting people on Lego Masters. But I still like to think that they chose us and told us all of this because they truly believed in us. But looking back, I kind of doubt it. Okay, and so now, at this point, we were given access to a Google Drive folder. And in this Google Drive folder, it said that it was shared with a bunch of people, like all these different production companies. And I was kind of freaking out because the guy we were talking to, the producer that we like interviewed with, was like, yeah, so Will Arnett and Brad Pitt are gonna see this stuff. And as soon as I heard that, I was like, Brad Pitt and Will Arnett are gonna see our faces? Like, that's so cool. They're gonna see our Lego, our display wall. Like, that's so exciting. And I don't know if that's actually true. Looking back again, I'm like, I don't know if they even looked at any of this. It was probably like filtered through quite a few people before they had to look at anything. But it's still kind of cool to think like maybe Will Arnett saw my face. Anyways, the actual purpose of this Google Drive folder was to upload pictures of mocks we had made or like Lego sets, just like stuff that makes us unique. So I uploaded, first of all, just like pictures of me and Ross. We had to do like just a normal like nice picture, like smiling or whatever, just like headshot kind of thing. And then I uploaded pictures of us at Disney World, at the Lego store. I uploaded pictures of our display wall, our Lego city, just us hanging out, you know, just like showing our personality, that kind of thing. But then the issue was that we didn't have any mocks and we had never built mocks. So at this point we were like, okay, cool. Yeah, we'll upload pictures of our mocks to the Google Drive, producer. Thanks. Yes, we'll be right on that. And as soon as we hung up, we were like, okay, we don't have anything. We've never made a mock before. This is gonna be hard. And we just got in the car, went to the Lego store, went to the pab wall, the pick-a-brick wall, and we were like, please, pieces be here. Like, pieces that are good for mocks. Like, please be something we can use. And of course there was like nothing. They never have anything decent at the Austin Lego store, but it was worth a try. We did come home with some pieces just to like give it a try, you know, because we were kind of desperate. And then because we didn't really find much there, we went to the Bricks and Minifigs and just sorted through their kind of used pieces because they have these giant tubs of just used Lego. So we were like, okay, cool. Like, what kind of mock should we make? You know, we were kind of starting to brainstorm, what do we even need to make? Because we have pieces now, like there's a lot of pieces here. What should we be looking for? And we decided on a Spirited Away mock, like the bathhouse. And if you were following my channel back in December of 2020, on December 26th, I made a video called Moxing Day where I showed off some cool mocks that I had made out of the blue. Those were all of the mocks that we made for Lego Masters. And obviously, like, they weren't that great, but they were pretty good for a first try. Just saying, they were pretty decent. But yeah, that video on Boxing Day, I called it Moxing Day because I thought it was funny. Yeah, those were all of our Lego Masters mocks. But anyways, we spent probably like 5 or 6 days just going ham, building mocks, just trying to be as creative as we could with the pieces we had. And it was so hard because, again, we had never made mocks before. You know, it was like totally different. But we uploaded the pictures of them and I was happy with them. You know, I was like, you know, for never making a mock before, I think they're pretty good. And obviously, I guess they didn't like it because we weren't on the show. But it was actually a lot of fun, and it also gave us a good opportunity to start building mocks. Because again, that's something we had never done before, but it's something I wanted to do. Oh, and something else I forgot to mention is that we had to upload these like really corny 1-minute videos of us talking about how we got into Lego, just like a 1-minute about me kind of video. And man, I was actually considering showing you guys the videos, like putting it into this video at some point. Nope. I looked back at that before I started filming and it is just so corny. It's cheesy, kind of cringe. And so yeah, no one's gonna see that. Let's just say that after watching that again, I'm not surprised we weren't picked for Lego Masters because it was very cheesy. But looking back now, the whole process was just such a whirlwind of events because it went from, you know, being excited like, oh my gosh, Lego Masters producers are talking to me, that's cool, all the way over to just like stress because we're building mocks, we're trying to figure out like, you know, Ross asked his job like, hey, is it cool if I like take off 6 weeks to go on like reality TV? And obviously his boss was like, no? And so just kind of thinking through that, like, what if we do get picked? Is he gonna like quit his job to do this? That doesn't really seem worth it. And so there was just like a lot of decisions to make all at once, but it was a lot of fun. And then here I was, on the other hand, just like completely fangirling the whole time over possibly meeting Will Arnett or Brad Pitt, or most importantly, Amy Corbett, Brickmaster Amy. She was like my favorite part of this show. I loved her. So just saying, Amy, if you're watching this, hit me up. Like, let's be friends. I would love to be your friend. Okay, so moving on now to how all of this ended. Essentially, after we uploaded everything to the Google Drive, we never heard back from them again. Like, it was pretty sad. I mean, obviously our mocks weren't that great, so I don't blame them. But yeah, I mean, that was a lot of time and we just like never heard anything. So yeah, obviously we weren't on the show because it's June and we're not on Lego Masters, but maybe in the future we might try out again. I mean, it was a really fun experience. It was a good opportunity to finally like get our hands dirty with some mocks, but yeah, it was kind of underwhelming at the end because, you know, we went through all of this effort, all of this work, and we were like ghosted. And then as I found out a few months later, a few of my friends in the community were also asked to be on Lego Masters. So it wasn't just us, we weren't special or anything, but yeah, and apparently they were reaching out to a lot of people because, as I said earlier, they were a third-party company. They probably do get some sort of commission if they do find someone to go on the show. So as much as I like to think that they chose us because we were just different, we were special, you know, they really loved our Lego stuff, they probably just, you know, they were asking a bunch of people because they wanted to get someone on the show. But I mean, overall, it was still a really fun experience. It gave us a good opportunity to finally start making some mocks because we had never done that prior to that, which, you know, again, it's Lego Masters. It's a whole mock building show. I'm not surprised we weren't chosen. But yeah, so that's my Lego Master story, and again, it was a lot of fun. I don't regret any of it because it was a blast. I loved kind of going through that process with my husband. Kind of a bummer we're not on the show, but I totally understand since we've only ever made like 2 mocks in our life. Like, it makes sense that we're not part of that. But anyways, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. I'd really appreciate it. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.